Hi everyone, it's Sharon here, and I wanted to just jump on with something that has come up very recently in the last 24 hours. And I may have even mentioned some of this before in previous videos, but it's just become really quite a pressing subject, and that is about discernment. We really need to discern, really truly start to be discerning as to what information we're absorbing and where it's coming from, and the motivation behind where it's coming from. And so I just have really been noticing in the last 6 months especially how, there are certain content providers who I would say are addicted to providing content. It's almost like on a daily basis, they have to interview somebody, they have to comment on certain things. It's like they have to provide content. And, the information age of the internet has meant that, the quality has gone down on information and the quantity has gone up. And it seems to me like everyone is being touted as an expert when really they're not experts at all. And I've just really noticed it. People who are interviewing these people online, and they're speaking, the so-called experts are speaking very confidently, and they are speaking as if something is a fact. And I know I sometimes just catch a snippet of it, and it is not a fact in any shape or form. Now, I consider myself quite lucky. I have this inner lie detecting ability. I hit, like, bells go off and red flags go up when there's an untruth being spoken. If there's half and half, I can even tell that it's half and half. So I have that ability. So I kind of understand that it might not be so easy for everybody else. And that is why I'm asking you to discern. Discern, discern, discern is the, is the message. Because there are a lot of agendas going on at the moment. And even in the spiritual community, I hate to say it, there's a money grab going on. I don't know why there's a money grab. Maybe people can kind of see the end of a certain way of life and a certain way of being. And even those in the spiritual community are doing a massive money grab. There was a time when you would go onto a spiritual summit and there would be maybe 5 or 10 experts maximum over a period of time. Now there's 30 per day. Why? Why are there 30 per day? And where have all these experts come from? It's not. It's a money grab. It's a list sharing exercise so that everybody can have their list shared. Therefore, they can sell to you. And once they've got your email address, you are now a viable sales contact, right? And, this is the masculine model of marketing. So everyone's following it. It does, the masculine model works in a masculine world. It really does. I've read all the marketing stuff that is the masculine model. I can't abide it. I don't like it, which is why nobody ever watches my videos. But I'm okay with that because I cannot go along with this, the way that things are presented in this manipulative way. So I'm just saying, be discerning. Please just be discerning as much as you can. Be careful of what you're absorbing that people are portraying as truth that is not truth. Be discerning on who you listen to. And even if you think it is a trusted source, still keep your mind open to maybe not everything they're saying is 100% true. Keep your discernment with you, even with trusted sources. And I say that because I saw something the other day, and it's a very famous nutritional podcast. And podcasts, I think, are one of the worst offenders of this. They keep touting people as experts. They're not. I've heard a lot of people speak on podcasts, and they are talking absolute rubbish. I mean, absolute no value in what they're saying. Got it completely wrong. Totally don't understand it. I don't care if they've written a book on it. They still don't understand it. They've written books on it, or they say they've written books on it, and they're still talking and nothing of any value. You can't learn from this. All you can do is absorb lies, half-truths, opinions, and think it's truth. And then guess what? You have to do the work to remove this. So rather than remove it, discern, because it's much harder to take something that you've ingested, believing it to be true, taking it as truth, and then try and extricate yourself from that untruth. It's much easier to just discern and not absorb all of this as if it is true and as if it is fact. Now, this might seem really obvious to you, and you might say, Sharon, why do you need to do a video on it? I have, in the last few days, seen people talking about stuff that is even around health and nutrition, which you would think is quite fact-based, and it is a top UK podcast. And they omitted one of the most key important factors, and they completely just concentrated on the physical. They completely talked on the physical, completely excluded all mental, emotional aspects of this, which I think is really damaging. And there was and he was an expert on it. We have to be discerning. We have to be able to not just take what is packaged to us and say, oh, because it's been packaged, someone has curated that for us, they've vetted them. They're not vetting them. You can tell they're not really vetting them. They're just trying to provide content. They're trying to provide something new. They're looking all serious in their podcast. Oh, yes, that's a very interesting point. It's not an interesting point. Most of it is crap. Discern. Please, please discern for yourself. It might be interesting. It might be entertaining, but do not absorb it as if it is truth, because really there's not a lot of it going around at the moment. And that's all I wanted to offer.